It's Tuesday morning and you refresh your brokerage account out of habit. The number stares back at you. $250,000. You close the app, open it again. Still there. Something in your chest shifts. Not excitement exactly, more like quiet certainty. You just crossed into territory most people never see, and everything is about to change. My name is Ivan, and I help people understand money, personal finance, and building wealth. If you are interested in getting your finances on track and maybe even getting ahead of the pack, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if this information helps you out. Here's why this matters. Think about learning a language. The first 100 words are brutal, slow progress, constant effort. But once you hit critical mass, around 2,000 words, suddenly you are thinking in that language. Sentences flow, comprehension clicks. 250,000 in net worth works the same way. You just hit critical mass and the machine you built is about to run itself. Let's break down what actually happens at this milestone. The numbers, the psychology, and the path forward. Number 1, your money starts working harder than you do. Here's the number that changes everything. At 8% average annual return, $250,000 generates $20,000 in growth per year without you adding a single dollar. That is $1,667 per month in passive wealth creation. For context, most Americans save less than $2,000 per year total. Your capital is now outpacing the average person's entire savings effort. What this means is simple. You just cross the line from earning wealth to having wealth work for you. If you keep contributing $2,000 per month, your net worth grows by roughly $44,000 annually. $24,000 from contributions and $20,000 from returns. At that pace, you hit $500,000 in about 5 years, not 15. Here's the consequence nobody prepared you for. Every month, your account climbs by thousands. And increasingly, those gains come from investment growth, not your paycheck. You start checking your portfolio and seeing 4-figure jumps from market days. That psychological shift from grinding for every dollar to watching capital compound is disorienting. You realize your time is no longer your only valuable asset. Your capital is equally powerful. The action here is to recalibrate your strategy. At $250,000, you should max out every tax advantage account available. These vehicles save you thousands in taxes annually and accelerate growth. If you are not maxing these out yet, that is your first move. Every dollar you shield from taxes is a dollar that compounds faster. Number 2, you enter the top 10% and you feel it. Let's talk about what this milestone means relative to everyone else. According to Federal Reserve data, only 10 to 15% of US households have a net worth over $250,000, excluding primary residents. You just entered the top tier, not by luck, by discipline. What this means for your psychology is profound. The scarcity mindset that drove you from 0 to 100,000, it starts to fade. You stop worrying about survival and start thinking about strategy. You are not desperate anymore. You are not hoping things work out. You are planning your next move from a position of strength. Here's the consequence most people miss. Confidence changes how you operate in the world. You negotiate harder at work because you are not living paycheck to paycheck. You walk away from bad opportunities because you do not need them. You take smarter risks because you have a cushion. This is not arrogance, it is earned certainty, and that certainty compounds just like your capital does. The move here is to leverage that confidence strategically. If you have been undervalued at work, now is the time to negotiate a $20,000 raise. If you have been sitting on a business idea, now is the time to deploy $10,000 and test it. Capital gives you options. Options give you leverage. Use it. Number 3, passive income becomes emotionally real. Here's where the psychology shifts again. At 8% annually, $250,000 generates $20,000 per year, or $1,667 per month. At 10%, it is $25,000 per year, or $2,083 per month. That is not retirement income yet, but it is substantial. Let me make this concrete. $1,667 per month covers groceries, utilities, insurance, and more for most people. Some people's rent is less than that. The psychological impact of watching your investments generate real usable income every month is game-changing. You stop thinking, how do I earn more from my job, and start thinking, how much passive income do I need to cover all my expenses? This mindset shift accelerates wealth building because you start optimizing for income-producing assets instead of just accumulation. You stop measuring progress by account balance alone and start measuring by monthly cash flow. Financial independence, which seemed distant at $100,000 now, feels achievable within 5 to 10 years. Here's the consequence if you ignore this shift. You keep grinding at a job you hate because you only think in terms of active income. You miss the fact that your capital is already generating the equivalent of a part-time salary. The action here is to calculate your freedom number. If your monthly expenses are $4,000, you need roughly $600,000 at 8% to cover it. $250,000 puts you almost halfway there. That clarity changes how you think about the next 5 years. Number 4, your relationship with risk fundamentally changes. Let's shift gears to risk tolerance. When you had $20,000, losing $5,000 in a bad investment felt catastrophic. At $250,000, losing $5,000 is a 2% setback, painful but not devastating. This allows you to take calculated risks that broke people cannot afford. What this means in plain English is that you can now pursue opportunities with asymmetric upside. You can invest in higher growth sectors, you can start a business, you can make bets on yourself that might fail, but if they succeed, could 10x your wealth. You are not reckless, you are strategic. The cushion gives you confidence to pursue opportunities that poorer versions of you had to pass on. Here's the math that matters. If you deploy $10,000 into a side business and it fails, you lost 4% of your net worth. Annoying, but survivable. But if it succeeds and generates $30,000 per year in profit, you just added another income stream that accelerates your path to $500,000 and beyond. This is why people with capital compound wealth faster. It is not just returns on existing money, it is the ability to take smart risks that create outsized gains. The consequence, if you stay too conservative, is opportunity cost. Sitting on $250,000 in cash or bonds at this stage costs you hundreds of thousands in growth over the next decade. The move here is to rebalance aggressively. If you're holding more than 10% cash, deploy it. If you are overweight in bonds, shift to equities. You are young enough to handle volatility, and conservative investing now is leaving money on the table. Number 5, here's the contrast that shows the path forward. Let's compare two people. Both hit $250,000 at age 35. Poor Peter celebrates by inflating his lifestyle. New car lease, bigger apartment, more vacations. His savings rate drops from 30% to 10%. He is still contributing, but the momentum slows. After 10 years, his net worth hits $550,000. Not bad, but he added only $300,000 in a decade. Rich Richard keeps his lifestyle nearly flat. Same car, same apartment. Small intentional upgrades, but no lifestyle creep. His savings rate stays at 25%. After 10 years, his net worth hits $900,000. He added $650,000 in the same decade, more than double poor Peter's growth. Same starting point, different discipline, different outcome. That $350,000 gap is the cost of lifestyle inflation. And here is the brutal part. Poor Peter will never catch Rich Richard. The gap widens every year because Rich Richard's capital base is larger and his savings rate is higher. Compounding does not forgive lifestyle creep. Number 6. The path to $500,000 is shorter than you think. Here's the number that should excite you. If you contribute $2,000 per month and earn 8% on $250,000, you hit $500,000 in roughly 6 years. If you increase contributions to $3,000 per month or earn 10%, you can do it in 4 to 5 years. Compare that to the 8 to 10 years it took to go from 0 to $100,000. The exponential curve is fully engaged. Your capital is compounding. Your income is likely higher than when you started. Your systems are optimized. The only threats now are lifestyle inflation and complacency. What this means is that the hard part is over. You built the machine, you proved it works. Now it is running on rails. The next phase is about not getting in your own way. If you maintain the discipline that got you here, resisting the urge to upgrade your life dramatically, the path to $500,000 is almost automatic. Here's the consequence if you coast. You add 5 to 10 years to your timeline. Every percentage point you drop in savings rate costs you years of compounding. The action here is to set a clear target for $500,000 and reverse engineer the timeline. Make it specific. Track it monthly. Automate contributions so decision fatigue does not derail you. Number 7. What you absolutely cannot do at this milestone. Let's talk about the mistakes that kill momentum. First, do not dramatically inflate your lifestyle. A modest upgrade is fine. Travel once a year instead of never. Upgrade from a 15-year-old car to a reliable 5-year-old used vehicle. But if you go from saving 30% to saving 10% because you feel wealthy, you just added years to your journey. Second, do not stop investing aggressively. Some people hit $250,000 and shift entirely to cash or bonds out of fear. That is a mistake. Conservative investing at this stage costs you hundreds of thousands in growth. Third, do not tell everyone. Wealth attracts requests, jealousy, and bad advice. Keep your success private. Fourth, do not think you made it and coast. $250,000 is amazing, but it is not financial independence for most people. It is a milestone, not the destination. Fifth, do not make big emotional purchases. Every dollar you spend now is a dollar that will not compound into $10 later. The fix is simple, but most people fail here. Lock in your savings rate and protect it fiercely even as income and net worth grow. Small intentional upgrades are fine, but make them deliberate, budgeted, and non-recurring. The people who succeed at this stage maintain 70 to 80% of their early intensity while allowing small quality of life improvements that keep them sane. Number 8, this is where financial freedom starts to feel real. Hitting $250,000 is about crossing from building wealth to having wealth. You are no longer hoping compound interest works. You are watching it happen every month. This milestone proves the grind was worth it, and it shows you that the next milestones, 500,000, 1 million, and beyond, are inevitable if you stay disciplined. You built the foundation. Now you protect it and let time do the heavy lifting. Here's your next step. If you are at 250,000, set your target for 500,000 and lock in your systems. If you are below it, use this as your blueprint for what is waiting. Track your progress obsessively. Automate everything. And do not let lifestyle inflation steal years from your timeline. That is how you win. Not by celebrating too early, by staying focused until the machine runs itself.